What's up, everybody? Weston here with the Hidden Gibbon, back with another daily deck tech video. Feeling a bit under the weather here, switched medications, and then also got sick, I'm pretty sure, from one of my coworkers, which is super fun. But we're still here, and today we have ourselves one of the Ninja Turtles cards. Now, if you watched one of my viewer request deck techs, I really enjoyed this card when I was like digging through cards and stuff, so I decided to make it into a deck tech. And that is Krang, the All-Powerful. And Krang is a little brain dude. I can't remember. I was young the last time I watched Turtles. I was born in '89, so early '90s and stuff. I don't remember too many Turtles, but I remember Krang being this little brain guy. But he's a 3/3 for 5 in this instance, so not the highest power commander in the world. And if a player drawing a card would cause a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. I think that this ability is incredibly strong. And whenever a player draws their second card each turn, put a 1/1 counter on Krang. Now, I will say this. He is the commander for this deck. I do think that he would be much stronger inside of like a Nekuzar deck, where he runs a support role, because you have a lot more variance and a lot more tools that you can work with triggered abilities. But we are going to run him as a commander today, and we're going to see what we can get done as Krang here tries to do Krang things. It just makes me think of the Twitter account Krang. But first, we have ourselves 2 Planeswalkers. Only 2. We have the original Jace Beleren. He has +2. Each player draws a card. -1. Target player draws a card. And then -10. Target player mills 20. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Originally from Lorwyn. I actually have this version. I opened it up in my Mystery Booster 2 that I got. Then we have Jace, Wielder of Mysteries. He's a 4 loyalty for 1 generic and triple blue. If you would draw a card while your library has no cards in it, you win the game. So, you can draw yourself out. Target player puts the top 2 cards of their library into their graveyard, draw a card, and then draw 7 cards. If your library has no cards in it, you win the game. There you go. Which is very strange, because like it would automatically trigger, right? Unless you hit exactly on that 7. But creatures. We have Danny Pink. He's a 4/3 for 4 with Mentor, which whenever he attacks, put a 1/1 counter on target attacking creature with lesser power. Don't attack with this creature in this deck. Just don't do it. Creatures you control have, whenever 1 or more counters are put on this creature for the first time each turn, draw a card. We do have creatures that get counters in this deck. We have Fairy Mastermind. Whenever an opponent draws their second card each turn, draw a card. Oh yes, I forgot. Whenever a player draws their second card each turn, put a 1/1 counter on Krang. So Fairy Mastermind's on here. We have Fairy Vandal, Flash Flying. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, put a 1/1 counter on Fairy Vandal. We have Homunculus Horde, which is whenever you draw your second card each turn, create a copy that's a copy of this creature. I actually really like this card. I find it fun. It's full of flavor. It's not super powerful. He's just a fun little guy who looks like Mike Wazowski. Which this is embarrassing. I know who that character is, but I have never actually seen Monsters, Inc. We have Kami of the Crescent Moon. Kami of the Crescent Moon. At the beginning of each player's draw step, that player draws an additional card. So he's a Howling Mine of the Butt Cheeks. We have Lila. This is actually the commander where I first put Krang in there. Was pretty high on Krang. Lila, Holographic Assistant from Spider-Man, is a 2/2 for 4. Whenever you draw a card, put a 1/1 counter on target creature. Nadir Kraken. So whenever you draw a card, you can pay 1. If you do, put a 1/1 counter on it and make a tentacle. We got Palinchron in here because we're going to be running Palinchron High Tide combo. Yes, I know there are more efficient cards than Palinchron to do so, but when it comes to infinite combos, I would rather not do them early game, and so Palinchron costs 7, right? So I want it to be like a mid to late game combo. Yeah, that's a personal choice. You can always speed it up if you want. I got Phyrexian Metamorph in here, one of my all-time favorites in all of Magic the Gathering. You can have it enter the battlefield as a copy of any artifact or creature on the battlefield, except it's an artifact. in addition to its other types. Psychosis Crawler, power and toughness equal to the number of cards in your hand, and whenever you draw a card, each opponent loses 1 life. So with Krang, it would be losing 2 life. We have Scrawling Crawler, which at the beginning of your upkeep, everybody draws a card, and whenever an opponent draws a card, that player loses 1 life. Spark Double lets you clone something, except for it's not legendary. Clone your Krang. It's pretty fun. The Unagi of Kyoshi Island, Flash Ward, Waterbend 4. Whenever an opponent draws their second card, each turn you draw 2 cards. We have Triskaidekaphile. You have no maximum hand size at the beginning of your upkeep. If you have exactly 13 cards in your hand, you win the game. Laboratory Maniac. If you draw a card while there's no cards in your library, you win the game. And you know, we're slow rolling this, right? We're slow rolling it, other than if we get our infinite mana combo. So, you know, 3-card late game combo. Yeah, we have, we're going to say Vinwixt, Verbose Host. Start your engines. You have no maximum hand size. Max speed, if you would draw a card, draw 2 cards. For max speed, it's, if you have no speed, it starts at 1, increases each of your turns when an opponent loses life, which combos pretty well with Psychosis Crawler and Scrawling Crawler. Walking Ballista enters with X counters. You can put a counter on it, remove a counter from it, and deal 1 damage to any target. 1 Shitong, pretty expensive. When he enters, put X1/1 counters on him, then draw half X cards. Whenever an opponent searches their library, put a 1/1 counter on 1 Shitong and draw a card. Zenith Chronicler, whenever a player casts their first multicolor spell each turn, each other player draws a card. I actually would highly recommend this card go in every single one of your monocolored decks, because most people are running multicolor of some kind, and this card is just a free draw for 2 on people's turns. Sorceries, we're only running 4. Curse of Swine, exile X target creatures. For each creature exiled this way, you make a pig. We have Enter the Infinite. Draw cards equal to the number of cards in your library. Then put a card from your hand on top of your library. You have no maximum hand size until your next turn. Good way to win. Prosperity. Each player draws X cards. So this is part of the High Tide Power and Crown combo. You can make it so you can win or mill everyone. Treasure Cruise. Draw 3. We have Aetherize, return attacking creatures, Brain Surge, draw 4, then put 2 cards from your library on top. Hold on. Sorry about that. Below the camera, I was peeling an orange for my daughter, and she saw it, and she snagged it. So I'm back here, friends. Evacuation, return all creatures to their owner's hands. Flow of Knowledge, draw a card for each island you control, then discard 2 cards. Frantic Search, draw 2, discard 2, untap up to 3 lands. High Tide makes all islands tap for an additional blue. This is important. This includes your opponents. Keep Watch, draw a card for each attacking creature. Quick Study is draw 2 cards. Rapid Hybridization is the tiniest bit of removal. And each player draws 2 cards with Vision Skeins. Artifacts, we do have the Ozolith in here. So, like, that's why this deck comes in at about $500, is because there are some expensive cards in here. We have Aether Siphon. Search your engines, draw a card. Whenever you draw a card, each opponent mills 2 cards, so you can also do fun things with that. Alhammarat's Archive, if you would gain life, you gain twice that much life. If you would draw a card, beyond the first card you draw each of your draw steps, draw 2 cards instead. Brotherhood Regalia for Unblockable. Font of Mythos, during beginning of each player's draw step, that player draws 2 additional cards. Howling Mine, everybody draws. Insight Engine. Put a charge counter on this artifact, then draw a card for each charge counter on it. 1 second. I always update the cheapest, and it's not. I just cannot. There we go. It was hard to read. Okay, Iron Maiden. I get it was the band, but Iron Maiden. Artifact for 3. During each of your opponent's upkeeps, it deals 1 damage to that player for each card, more than 4 in his or her hand. Lightning Greaves, Swiftfoot Boots in here to protect our Krang. Whisper Silk Cloak to give Krang unblockable. We do have Mystic Forge in here. You can play things from the top. I did not put Helm of Awakening in this deck because I don't want to do the Sensei's Divining top infinite combo this time. But if you really want to, drop Spellbook and put Helm of Awakening in. It makes top literally cost 1 less, which means then you can flip top, play top, flip top, play top. You can use it for Storm. You can use it to draw out your deck, all of that sort of stuff. I wanted to make I wanted to make it so you could do flip top, play top, but have it cost you mana. Be fair about it is the best way I could put it. We have Sapphire Medallion. We have Soul Ring. Spellbook is no maximum hand size. Like I said, drop this for Helm of Awakening if you so choose. Oh, God, breathing is difficult right now, friends. Dictate of Krufix is a Howling Mine with Flash. Extravagant Replication. I love this card. Beginning of your upkeep, you get to make a copy of a non-land permanent. Force Fruition. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, they draw 7 cards. Nerd Rage. When it enters the battlefield, draw 2 cards. Enchanted Creature has you have no maximum hand size, and whenever this creature attacks, if you have 10 or more cards in hand, it gets +10/+10 until end of turn. Make Krang into a big dumb beat engine. We have Ominous Seas, so you can start making a whole bunch of 8/8 Krakens. Prophecytic Memory, which got banned in Standard. When it enters, draw a card. You have no maximum hand size. Beginning of combat in your turn, if you've drawn more than one card this turn, put X/1/1 counters on target creature, where X is the number of cards you've drawn this turn, -1. Propaganda, so people got to pay 2 to attack you. Psychic, Corrosion, and Teferi's Tutelage. These are mill cards, so whenever you draw a card, each opponent puts the top 2 cards of their library in their graveyard, and Teferi's Tutelage is when it enters, you loot, and then whenever you draw a card, target opponent mills 2. We have Struggle for Project Purity. When it comes in, you choose Brotherhood or Enclave. Brotherhood at the beginning of your upkeep. Each opponent draws a card. You draw a card for each card drawn this way. Sorry, not drawed. Holy cow. I'm not functioning. And Enclave, whenever a player attacks you with one or more creatures, that player gets twice that many red counters. Teferi's Ageless Insight. If you would draw a card except for the first one, each of your draw steps, you draw 2 instead. And then Wizard Class, no max hand size. Draw 2 cards, and then whenever you draw, you put a 1/1 counter on things. We do have Command Beacons, so you can put your commander into your hand from the command zone. Because Krang is expensive, and if he dies once, he's going to be really expensive. Agnikella, so you can loot. Demolition Field in here to destroy a non-basic land. And then we do have fetch lands in here because I am firmly a believer that even in a monocolored deck, sometimes fetch is good to shuffle away garbage on top of your library. We have Reliquary Tower, we have Rogue's Passage, and War Room. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Like I said, I find this card pretty interesting. There's actually a few really interesting cards in the Spider-Man, or not Spider-Man, oh my god, like Freudian slip there, Ninja Turtles set. I know that not a lot of people are super hyped for the set. I will be honest with you, I don't have any strong opinions on the set either way. I look for good cards. I am really excited for Hobbit when it comes out. That's actually the next set that I care about. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. As always, I'm Weston with the Hidden Gibbon. Here's to hoping I feel better, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.